Welcome to the What's Going On podcast.
What's going on?
Please note that the views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the host and guest and do not reflect those of our sponsors. This show is for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered professional advice.
Take that.
Listener discretion is advised.
Pushing all this weight, say it's a workout. Later verse down, he laying in dirt now. Who let this curse in? I'm getting cursed out.
As a black man that works in the United States.
Right. So do you feel like
Black people are most certainly going to lose.
what he's saying is
Yeah, 1,000%.
Niggas don't respect authority. Niggas don't respect themselves. Niggas can't operate as a unit. Niggas can't solve basic problems or tasks. We're the most militant and violent people pushing for racial conflict in this country. You niggas need to listen. The more you continue to push this anti-white rhetoric and attack white people just for being white, they're gonna fucking bounce back and we're all gonna be fucking done. The only option that black people have is either to work for white people in this country or get the fuck out. You have no other fucking option. Choose wisely, niggas.
what do you think about what he said?
I agree with some of it. I mean, for him to say that we're the most violent and militant group in America, I disagree because we didn't storm the Capitol when things didn't go our way. You know what I mean? So I disagree with that. I think every race has every no matter your skin color, like if you're a human being, you have the capacity for violence, and and like I say, I mean, a group of white people got together and had the audacity to storm the Capitol. Man, they're like, that's treason, bro. You know,
Yeah.
but there are some things that he said that I agree with. I do think I don't think black people is pushing for a race war. I disagree with that as well. I do think that we should work with white folks. I do think if when white people get sick of ass, they can match that button and white folks off the face of the earth. I do believe that. Another thing, when he say that, it's like you're implying that you're talking about all black people, right? So like if just some random person hears that, they're thinking like some random black person that like, but that's not like that's not true. Like, you have certain groups of people. So he's talking about like the niggas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you have black people who are law-abiding citizens. They work, they go to school, they're educated, they know how to act, they know how to carry themselves. And then you have the black people who he's talking about, which is the niggas.
Right.
Which they ain't got nothing going for themselves. They just, I don't know, they just rabid.
Yeah.
But
I feel you.
and I feel like every race of people have that group. So
Yeah.
we'll call black people, we call them niggers, but the white folks will call them rednecks. Like that's their sector of people where they don't fuck with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I listen to him a lot. I haven't I follow him on my Instagram because he be talking crazy. But like I said, I also like I said last time, I think like social media has a big point in what he's trying to execute, which is he's shock value, being out there, being famous, probably making money off doing these dumb shit. So I think that plays a big part in what he's saying. I think sometimes some of the things he says is actually correct, especially when he starts talking about like them ghetto ass girls in the hood. He calls them, I think he calls them, I don't know, the Beckys or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, he makes some good points, but his way of doing it obviously is for the clout. That's obvious. But yeah, every race has their I don't know if this is gonna go over well, bottom of the barrel of the people. You know what I'm saying? Like every race does. Well, I mean, humanity's been violent since the day of the storytelling of Adam and Eve. I mean, for fuck's sakes. We've been doing it for a long time, killing and whatever. I don't think it's one particular race that's worse than the others. I mean, if I had to pick, I would choose, maybe Spain, Europe, them guys are pretty like aggressive. They done killed half the country at one, half the world at one point. They were trying to take over the shit. So they're, to me, those kind of people are super aggressive. The Jews, I mean, they killed Jesus, for crying out loud. Like you gotta be at a whole nother level to kill some nigga that says that God's his father, just because you don't believe what he believed, bro. Like, come on, man, that's a whole different level of hatred.
Right.
But that's different. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just every race has their bottom of the barrel kind of group. Spanish people, we have ours, but like I said last time, like the only thing that bugs me is that none of these people can actually come together. It's the only time you see people come together is when it's time to break some CVS windows so they can go steal sunflower seeds and ice. It's just dumb.
What people you talking about? You said the thing you don't understand. You don't understand when people come. Like, they can't come together.
Yeah, like nobody comes together unless it's time to like burn some buildings down. You know what I'm saying? But like you never see like the only time you ever see people come together is when bad shit is happening. Like for instance, the ICE situation. You see like Mexican people coming together,
That's what you're saying.
white folks, whatever. Yeah. But I'm saying like they never come together to do something in a peaceful time. Like I don't see like a bunch of Mexicans coming together and be like, "Yo, we opening up this store." Like a whole bunch of black folks come together and they open up a bank. Like, you don't see shit like that, but they'll go and burn down a CVS when somebody gets beat up by a cop. But like, it's like,
that's what I'm saying.
It's like you never see, like they always want to come together when there's torment. You know what I mean? Or turmoil.
When it's time to be angry and break shit, that's when people want to come together. But when it's time to sit down and come up with a plan and invest and put the work in, nobody.
Like nobody will go to the polls and vote, but they'll definitely come out and like do donuts in the middle of the street and crash into buildings because somebody got beat up and this is their time to act out. Like people I think people are just more obsessed with anarchy than peace sometimes. Like even watching the whole thing in Israel and Iran, like people are like there's missiles going overhead and people are still like out there recording, which is insane to me. Like there's ballistic missiles going over your head and you're standing recording.
Well,
I'm like,
I don't know if I can talk bad about them because it's like living in the hood. Like if you live in a quiet, peaceful neighborhood and you hear a gunshot, like that's the scariest shit.
Yeah. So you're numb to it. Yeah.
But if you live in the hood, like you hear that shit all the time, people shoot, like you don't even flinch, like you just start.
Yeah. No, you're right. I get it. Again. You're absolutely 100% right.
That shit happen like that, like all the time over there, bro. And then which is why
absolutely right.
I really do feel like we're blessed to live in America because we don't have those things happening over here.
Right, which you're 110% right. You just get numb to it, which is sad, crazy. But yeah, you're right. But yeah, man, I'm like, Jesus Christ, like it's just like yeah, just another day, whatever. I'm like, oh, gee, this is crazy. But yeah, that's all I wanted to touch up on that shit was that guy.
I mean, he definitely said some things that were truthful, but I feel like the problem is people don't understand like who you're talking about. It's like Black Lives Matter, right? It was so confusing. The Black Lives Matter thing was so confusing because people didn't understand that there was two Black Lives Matter. I didn't hold up 4 fingers. God damn it. It was two Black Lives Matter. It was Black Lives Matter where people like us, like me, my mom, my sister, my dad, family, friends, cousins. So when you say Black Lives Matter, it's like when I get pulled over by the police, my life matters. When I go to the bank to try to get a loan, my life matters.
Right.
When I'm being treated unfairly, a second-class citizen, Black Lives Matter. So that's the first Black Lives Matter, right? So you sitting in the lobby of a restaurant waiting for your party to be called, and somebody says, no, they don't like Black Lives Matter. you're thinking that they're saying we don't care about black people.
Right, 100%.
So, but that's the first Black Lives Matter. The second Black Lives Matter was the actual organization itself.
Yeah, that was ripping people off.
Black people didn't really know too much about because
it was ran by white folks.
Right.
I mean, come on, bro.
So when white people when you heard white people say they didn't like Black Lives Matter, they was really talking about black folks. They was talking about the organization.
The organization, yeah.
But because we didn't understand that it was two of them, it just created like a bunch of confusion. So it's like they had black people fighting for Black Lives Matter, and we didn't even know what the hell was going on. Because if you went on the website and saw what Black Lives Matter wanted, that's not what black people want. Like black people are not going to sacrifice their family for a political agenda.
Yeah,
like
they want you to vote for certain people. Yeah,
right. Like we love people. We love each other, man. Like I'm not going to sacrifice my mom for lower taxes, bro. I'm nah.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But the Black Lives Matter website said they're willing to sacrifice the nuclear family to achieve their political goals. That's not what black people wanted.
No.
It was just confusing, man. So I feel like when you say things like that, you really have to break this thing down of like it's who you're talking about.
No, I agree. 100 on that. But there's also like this, which is a crazy, now that I think about it as an adult, it's like, even jokingly as a kid, you always, even rappers would say it, you always be like, yo, I want to move up into the white neighborhood. Like we always pictured like good neighborhoods always being white. And why is that? I don't think I've ever heard anybody say, yo, I want to go live in the black neighborhood. Like where's the good black neighborhoods at? You know what I'm saying? Which I'm sure there's probably some out there somewhere, but like we're trained to think that the white neighborhoods are safe, and we feel that way because they got the money, they live in bigger houses, they live in nicer neighborhoods. But why is that? Why is every time, because even when you get famous, I don't care what anybody says, even when you get famous or you get money, you move out your hood, which you should, but you move into white neighborhoods. And then when you realize when you move into these white neighborhoods that your white neighbors don't like you,
Yeah.
Now what do? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you might go buy land in Wyoming like Kanye did and, open your own farm or whatever. But not everybody has that kind of money and reach. So when you move into a decent white neighborhood, like, somewhere, you think you made it. But did you make it? Like, do you feel comfortable? You're uncomfortable. White, and I'm not saying everybody's like this. I'm just saying like there are areas where you move around white folks and you make them nervous, and then they move out, or then they treat you, biased for a while till they realize you're nice people. They do that shit for a while. So like, where, I'm like I said, in my 43 years on this earth, I never heard anybody say, yo, I'm moving to this fly ass good black neighborhood. Never heard anybody say I'm gonna move into this fly ass cool Spanish neighborhood. There's no such thing. I don't want to say there's no such thing, but there's no such verbiage where somebody's gonna say that to you. You always hear people like, yo, I can't wait to move out, move into the white neighborhoods where it's nice and they got parks. Like, why is that? Where the good Spanish neighborhoods at? Where the good black neighborhoods at? Where the good, I'm pretty sure there's some nice Chinese neighborhoods. I don't know. But you understand what I'm saying? There's no verbiage where it's like, yo, I'm moving out of my ghetto neighborhood. I'm moving to this nice dope black neighborhood over here in, in Georgia or in Queens or wherever you're from.
Because black people don't own anything. Like, you're not buying land and building neighborhoods. It's like you take your money and you flee, and then you just use it selfishly, right?
Right.
So,
do you think that's more of a cultural thing? Do you think that's more of like a government, conspiracy thing? Do you think that's just how we were raised, how we were taught? Because most black folks and whatever Spanish folks, we weren't even from here. We were brought here, or whenever time period of slavery or time period of, injustice that happened to a certain set of people, we came here because we had to flee hometowns or home countries because white folks were probably destroying shit over there. So we left there. Like, no matter how you try to twist it, whether it's slavery, whether it's indigenous people that had to leave their colonies because they were getting colonized, white folks, Spaniards, Europeans had a say in what happened to our people. So, for instance, black people were slaves. They were brought here from, other places to be sold to do this and do that. Spanish people fled, Dominican Republics or Puerto Ricos and all these places because white Spaniards came over there and took over their spot. So they were killing them. So you understand they were being pushed out or brought somewhere. It wasn't something that was done naturally. So what I'm trying to say is like, white people set up their own shops. Why can't we set up our own shops? You know what I mean? Like, there's no, they name streets after us after they kill us. They name schools after us after they kill us or, whatever. But why we can't set up an Earl high school before you get murked out by some cop or, it just feels like the only time we're being like being put into history is when we're getting killed or something dramatic is happening.
Well, it's I think it's strategic, man, and it's strategic, and then it's psychological. I mean, I feel like we have a real world example today, and I use Dr. Umar Johnson for example, right? Dr. Umar Johnson is trying to build his school.
Oh, he's getting so many red flags. I don't even think they don't want to work with him.
Right.
Contractors don't want to work with him because of the things he says.
Black people, they're talking so bad about this guy.
Right? Yeah, they don't want to help him.
Right.
Now, help him.
When you take everything into consideration, right? Because I've heard D.L. Hewley talk bad about Dr. Umar Johnson in the school, and I respect D.L. I like listening to him talk, and a lot of respect for him. But Anton Daniels, I heard him talk bad about Dr. Umar. Respect him too. But I think is messed up because when it comes to academics, Black people do not care about books and education. That's just something we don't show interest in at all. Now, if Dr. Umar was building a
strip club
or a football stadium or something to do with something vague, he would have been had it built. Because my mom and my sister is a school teacher. They work in the school system, and they in every single day, like, I don't want to hear about it, but I can't escape it from them too. They're talking about school and the kids and how the kids come to school with $10,000 jeans on, $10,000 shoes,
but they can't fucking read
and don't have paper and pencil. So even the parents themselves, like, no, they don't care about education. Nobody's trying to put in. Nobody in the Black community is trying to put money into education. So for him, this Black man, to try and build a school, which is something Black people don't care about, they're not trying to put money into, is damn near impossible.
Yeah.
So I can understand why what's taking so long and where the delay is coming in. I don't think he's taking the money and doing anything wrong with it. I think he's a genuine guy. I just think that this task that he's trying to accomplish is damn near impossible. Now, again, if he was building a basketball gym for Black people,
it would have been up already.
It would have been up. It would have been up.
And that's what I'm saying. They don't want you to have institutes. Yeah, you can go build your little basketball court. Go ahead, go play basketball with your $200 shoes. They don't care. They as long as you distracted from the main problem, which is education, banks, any institute, hospitals, any institute,
farmland, all that kind of, like, you
right? Any institute that revolves around living, which is school, education, farming, banks, these things, they don't want you to have.
No, and I mean, and that's from I've heard, don't know how true it is, but the central banking, when countries decide that they don't want to be a part of the central banking, that'd be like a lot of reasons for why they get invaded and bombed and turned into enemies. You know what I'm saying? So Black people getting together and starting our own banks and building our own schools and making our own food. That's not something that the power structure wants, because in order for the structure to work the way it needs to work, then you got to have a working class, and we are the working class. Like, we're the people that spend money.
But they want us to stay there, bro. They don't want us anywhere outside the working class, bro. They want to control all that shit. That's why I never understood, like you said, when DL Hughley talks shit, or these guys, they'll talk shit about Dr. Umar, which is crazy to me, because he says things like snow bunnies, and he only approves black on black love, and that's his opinion.
Right.
I think it's a great opinion. I don't care that white people want to love other color people or whatever. Mm-hmm. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me is that when you are in a culture and you think you are a part of that culture, just because you're white and you have a black boyfriend doesn't mean you're a part of the culture. You know what I'm saying? It just means you're with somebody who's of that culture, and you have to learn that culture. I mean, it doesn't mean it gives you the pass to say or do whatever you want. You know what I mean? Like,
gotcha.
Just because I got a Costco card doesn't mean I own the fucking place. You know what I'm saying? I could just shop there, and like, you don't. And that's what I think a lot of people think. Like, oh, I have a black boyfriend. Okay, doesn't mean you're gonna sit and talk to me crazy because you have a black. So it's things like that. But yeah, we definitely need to own our own things. And it sucks when you see other black celebrities talk shit, because it's crazy. Because when 50 was talking shit about Diddy, everybody's coming to Diddy's defense. Mm-hmm. I'm like, bro, but yet Dr. Umar needs to get a school and nobody's talking about this.
Right.
Like, go, instead of running your mouth and trying to help Diddy, out of all people, go help Dr. Umar. Go on TV and start a thing to help this nigga finish his school. Like, I don't know, man. It's just like, I think people just like I said, drama. They like to beat niggas when they're down. Mm-hmm. And that's what we do. As a culture, we see something and we like to talk shit about it and kick a nigga while they're down, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be that. We can end it on that note, then, my friend.
I don't know. It's
annoying, but yeah, I totally understand what
and I'll say this and then I'll be done with it. Like, bro, there's no way I would be as wealthy as Jay-Z and not have communities built. Like, I'm going to buy this land and build community, communities, bro.
And like we said earlier, who knows he don't want to do that? It's probably something that they won't let him do. You understand?
Right.
It doesn't mean he doesn't want to do it. Right. There's probably like too much red tape. They probably told him like, nah, Jay, you can't do that. You know what I mean? And Jay-Z being Jay-Z, I don't think he'll jeopardize his money for school.
Well, I mean, I can, but I can kind of understand that because I worked my ass off to get here.
Yeah.
I got out of bed, and when I got out of bed early, I stepped over niggas sleeping on the floor.
Yeah.
Right. And I was left. I came back, and when I came back home, I had to step over the nigga in the same spot, still sleeping on the floor. So I got up and I did what I needed to do to earn my
elevate.
Will.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So,
but
I get it.
But with that being said, I honestly think, like you said, if I have money like that, I will invest in growing up, bro. I will try my best to buy out my like a neighborhood and just like try to grow it. Like, yeah, it'd probably be a whole headache, but like it'll make me feel good knowing that like I own a block, somewhere, and that I'm trying to invest in the neighborhood. Now, if it didn't work, I'd be like, yo, fuck these motherfuckers. Y'all niggas don't like I'm over here trying to give y'all places to work, places to eat, places to sleep, and this is what y'all do. Mm-hmm. All right, fuck, I'm out. And I get that a lot of people have tried that aspect of it, like the real estate and trying to get homeless, and I can see people taking advantage. So it's almost like you want to do these things, but like people don't fucking care. I don't know, but that's my final take on it. I'm good.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. Well, for the rest of y'all out there, like, share, subscribe, and let us know what's going on in your life. I'm Ninja.
This is XP Early Bird.
And I'm out of here.
Peace.